Hey, let's get started. Yeah, it's the Legend of Data. It's Monday, and yeah, we're having our last episode of the Data Viz because I feel like there's a lot. Like we almost spent a whole month talking about Data Viz, so I just want to quickly wrap it up. I think if you have a really good memory, I skip over ggplot2, which I think because I didn't use it that much with Python, so I don't think it's gonna be maybe like worth the time, worth your time, and also my time to talk about it. And today I'm just gonna quickly wrap up with two interactive library, the Bouquet and also Folium. Like I have to confess that I don't use both that much either. Bouquet I use it a little bit more. I have contributed to it, but Folium, no. So, what I gotta do today is I gotta explore with you. We do it together to try to like play around with them, especially Folium. I try to get some of my running data and like because it will be like some latitude longitude things that maybe I could use, so I try to get those out, but I'm running out of time and I realized that like it's actually super complicated to do so. I found where the data is, of course, like it's stored in my watch, and then like I try to set it up, I try to download all these like driver and things to connect it to my computer, I try to export it, but at the end of the day, it just gives me an XML file that like I have to. Well, people said that you can use Microsoft Excel to open it, but I don't have. I'm using Mac. Actually, I just terminated my Microsoft Office license, so there's no way I'm gonna get that. Um, paying for the license again just to get that. So I could write a script to do that, but like of course I just get discovered today. I don't have the time to write the script. But in the future, if I somehow like get my head around, if I found something interesting to do with my running data, then maybe I would do it again. Also, like all these download, you can see like all my download bars that I forgot to close. Like it's crazy because like these are the downloads that I try to download. Um, yeah, my running activity and try to do some data viz with it, but I failed. So we're gonna just like go through the tutorial provided by Folium, I guess, to have a look at how it works. But yeah, in the future, if I found some projects that is worth looking at, so I don't know, like I guess COVID-19 is still a sensitive topic, even though like scientifically it's worth maybe doing some analysis and studying what's going on, the spread, and we can learn from it. But I think it's totally a disaster, and a lot of people suffer from it. Like they may lose someone that they love to the virus. So I think like maybe I'm not going to do some analysis on it, but otherwise like all these kind of different data from countries could also be useful to do some analysis, but we'll see. Like in the future we may come back to this. I'm just saying that this will be the last database for now. So like, and also database will come back from time to time in the future. Even if we move to a more advanced topic, then we would definitely be doing some database. So yeah, like it's not just saying that we will never do database again. It's just like today I just gotta close this chapter like of all this database. I gotta just like go through all these like basic stuff that how you're gonna make plots. So in the future, if you want to, let's say, oh, I want to make an interactive plot, or like I want to make a widget that could let the user have interactivity with the plot, you know that I can use Bouquet to do that, and then you can dive into like how to do that. So this are the stuff that I can't teach you, but I can give you an overview of like what what you could do with the data, what you could what tools you could do with the data. So this is the thing that I want to give you an insight about today. So, without further ado, so let's get started and so really get started. So I just gotta I will skip the self introduction today because I talk a lot right now, so it's a bit like yeah. So bouquet, I just like copied it like is I think you have seen it last week when we tried to put the bouquet backend in pandas, and then you see that actually it's a very cool tools that let you have a you can export it as an HTML, so you can include that in your report or whatever, or even if you like build a website, you can put it in there. Um, but another good thing is that it works with Jupyter Notebook. Um, so that's very good because like I think all data scientists love Jupyter Notebook. I am not a data scientist right now, but I still love Jupyter Notebook. Like, you see that actually I found it useful when I do presentation or when I, like do this online tutorials. That actually is very convenient. That you have a environment that you could basically type Python and run it and see the result all at the same time. I guess you can do it with Terminal and Vim. So I'm I gave myself a goal that I would force myself to use Vim next year. So I would try to learn some basic Vim like maybe during the Christmas holiday on when I'll be like less busy. So and then like after that I would force myself to use Vim only. So I think that's the only way that you can use you can learn how to use Vim. But I don't think I can still get away from Jupyter Notebook because like it's impossible to show like Vim and Terminal and the presentation at the same time. So yeah, well, I'm still sticking around with Jupyter Notebook. So let's go to our Jupyter Notebook. So basically we are still using the Pokemon data. I still love the Pokemon data. Why not? I'm very familiar with it. So let's do what we did before. Load the data and have a look. Yeah, in case you forget what we have and what data like what it looks like. So I think I've installed Bokeh, but just in case I'll just do a pip install. I think I already have it, so that's fine. I tend to like clearing this because yeah, like I look at what I like my last notebook from last week is really messy. I hate it. So after I install it, I'll just clear it. It's fine. But this is here handy, like for you to use if you download the notebook and try it yourself. Then, if you don't have it, you can just run this to install Bokeh. So okay, let's go to the documentation because, like I said, today is gonna be like we explore together what we're gonna do with Bokeh. Um, so I discovered that it's kind of provide a way that you could use pandas quite easily. You could put in data like this. But first of all, before all this, I think what we're gonna do is like all the things that we do. We gotta just go through the beginner's tutorial, and I don't know whether this is big enough, so I'm still like trying to make it bigger. So let's try to do this. So let's copy the code first. So it's gonna be so we kind of know. But one thing I want to change because this one is output file, it will output an HTML format which I don't want. So remember I put this link here. So now this is useful because basically telling you how to use Bokeh in Jupyter Notebook, and it's actually very easy. You just need to put this output notebook function instead of this output file. So instead of output file, I have output notebook. So output to static. So output to Jupyter Notebook. So this one, it will actually give me the same graph. So this is very simple. It goes of x and y, um, x and y coordinates. Suddenly I forget what that's called. It's like, oh, my math is like losing, like it's running away from my brain. As I have, okay, um, and it just basically like if so these are some points, right? You got an x and a y coordinate. This is like 5 points here, and then it's just gonna be like some simple line plot. Let's run it. Let's see if it works. That's very. Oh, ooh, what's going on? Oh yeah, because yeah, you have to import it. So I forgot to do that. So let's instead of output file, I put output notebook here. Yeah. So yeah, it says successfully loaded. So it's embedded in the Jupyter Notebook. This is very nice. It's a bit too big though. We can figure out a way to make this smaller. But I think the default is to try to like make use of all the width here because I'm like really zooming it in, so it's kind of become like a little bit too big. So what we're gonna do here maybe so yeah, this is nice, but I want to make it smaller. So let's go to the documentation and see how we can customize it. So key concept. So well, this is kind of explaining what they are. So it's like instead of like Matplotlib, remember we have the figure, we have the axis, so it has the graphs like with the y here. Yeah, like the axis is a very strange word. So like bouquet plotting, it got the graph, so which is like an object inside so it's the basic building block. So it's an object inside your bouquet plot. So later you'll see that when we try to add some interactivity in it, so you have to maybe say that, oh, this, let's say if you have a slide bar, this slide bar changes like some probability like property of these graph. So this graph object is basically some elements inside your bouquet plot. Okay. So yeah, so if this is like more advanced, wedges, we could try a little bit. Like this added the interactivity of it. It basically is like an input. It's kind of like a UI, so UI element. So it's like a button or a slide bar or a text box that people can input something. So this are the interactivity things that come in. So yeah, this we already tried that. We know that output files, you create an HTML that you let you use in your website. So for example, if you like do some analysis on COVID-19 and all this spread, you found that, oh my god, this is a new finding and like it would really save lives. So you publish that and then you want to include an interactive graph, you can do like output file. So output it as an HTML. So you can basically copy that HTML and put it in your own website. For example, your front page. So you have your index.html. So you copy those HTML, paste it in the place that you want it to be, and it will be rendered. Okay, so yeah, so this is like, so that lets you embed your bouquet visualization in a website. And outpush notebook is what we are doing right now, so I don't have to explain too much. And yeah, so these are like all these basic concepts. We don't have to go through all of them. Oh yeah, this bouquet JSON is a bit funny because like this HTML is the HTML that is output, right? This JSON is kind of an intermediate step that your code is generating, and then the backend of Bouquet is using this JSON to create these interactive JavaScript objects that basically allowed you to play around with the graph because it's in JavaScript, so it's interactive. So yeah, I won't dive into it too much. You can always come back here when you kind of get more experience and want to understand what those things mean. Yeah, so plotting is the one that you use most. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like pyplot in Matplotlib, so things like that. Okay, so let's skip that. And so yeah, you plot some basic graphs. So now we have a line plot, right? So we can basically change into circle or so yeah, let's do that. Why not? Yeah, I know that we are trying to make it smaller, but like I have being distracted for this one. So instead of line, I want it to be circle, so that's totally fine. So now you can see that it's a circle is a bit too small, so we can customize that a little bit. And yeah, you can change the size and you can change the color of it. So I want to change the size of it to be bigger. So oops, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Sorry about that. I am super dumb. Okay. Right. So it's here. There's the label here, and there's a circle. So it's the circle. So yeah, I don't need line width now. I want it to be like size, let's say 10, not 20. Yeah. So this is bigger. But how can I change the figure size? I still haven't done that. Like, yeah. Let's keep moving on and see what we can change. Like what else we can change. Oh yeah. So you can change the plot width and plot height. So this is the answer. So let me put it there. Oops, wrong button again. Let me swap the let me swap the tab so I didn't click. So usually when I go back, I would tend to go to the left tab, which in this case it would be my presentation, which is wrong. So I gotta change that. So in the figure, I can change the size by putting new. I gotta, you know what? I gotta put it here because it's too long. Yeah, so you can change the plot width and plot height with a property. So it's different from Matplotlib. Matplotlib's this one would be in inches. So in Bouquet, it's actually, I think this is kind of like in pixels or something, because 400 is, oops, invalid syntax. What have I done? Oh, I forgot a comma, right? So sorry about that. I deleted it for whatever reason. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So this, I think this is a pixel, but still, it's slightly too big for a 400 times 400 pixels. So I don't know. So maybe Jupyter Notebook make it bigger somehow. So like, but this is better than before. Before it's just like stretches so big. Or maybe I know why, because like I zoom in, so like, so it's not 400 times 400, because yeah, this looks too big for 400 times 400, but maybe because I zoom in to make the thing bigger for you to see. So yeah, so if I, let's see if I go back to 100. So yeah, this is like 100. Yeah, this is more like a 400 times 400 to me. So yeah, that should be in pixels. So let's make it big again so you can see it. So this is almost like twice as big as what it's supposed to be. So that's why it's super weird. So we can still make it a little bit smaller because we have been super zoom in. Or not. Just say like that, because I know that you may run this at home and it will be too small for you. It's fine. I can live with that. Okay. So what else can we do? We can make it a square if you want to, or triangle. There's another, yeah, there's a lot. You can do diamond, hexagon, all this stuff, a plus sign. Yeah. So line, that's what we have done before. So you can change the width of the line, like here. So step line. So this one is that, instead of like, yeah, just make it into a step. So only horizontal and vertical, and so kind of like connected the dot with like just horizontal and vertical lines instead of just a straight line. So yeah, it's not something very interesting. So yeah, so we have get the basic idea. So let's play around with our Pokemon data. So let's think what we can do with it. So what I want to do is that I want to see how let's say the different generation of Pokemon, their attack and defense changes throughout the generations. So let's see if we can do that. So I think what the first thing we got to do is that I want to do a group by on this because I want to group by the generation of the Pokemon, and then I could do an average, so I can get the average attack and defense of different Pokemons in different generations. So let's do this. So take the Pokemon DF here, and so this is the first thing that I do is that I would do a dot group by, and I would group by generation. I would dot mean, and let's have a look to see if this work. It doesn't. Oh, is it group? Sorry, I always mix up names. It's just me. Okay, so now you have different generations and you have different attack and defense. You can also look at other things, but let's look at let's look at attack and defense. They're kind of a very, it doesn't change that much actually because you average out all the different type of Pokemons. But yeah, but you can see that there's some slight difference there between generations. So we can do a line plot like this here. So let's go back to the documentation and provide data. So you can see that actually your group by objects can be put into the source as well. So this is very interesting. I want to try this out because or maybe we just try the very simplest thing here. So I can actually save this as a different DF. So this is group by DF. But actually we can skip that because like here that we said that we don't, the group by objects, you can just put it there. You don't have to. So but we just do the basic first, and then we can just like go step by step, okay? Like because I am exploring it with you, so I don't know what's going to happen either. But let's have a play. So source gotta be like this. So after that, how can we? So after that, we can just put the source equal to source in our figure. Okay. So let's try this. And this is the group by df. So I will put this group by df here as our source. Yeah. So now, uh, I forgot to import it. Sorry. I am dumb. Okay. I gotta do from bouquet. So what I gotta do is like all these like bouquet import, I gotta put it here. Um, yeah, so okay, where is this goes though? Like I have to check. Um, let me click on it. See where this class is provided. So this is okay, models.source. So from bouquet.models.source import this, right? Uh, yeah. Classes. I hope that I'm right because yeah, this is super long. Like why this is so long? Uh, yeah. So yeah, this is in model. So I just gotta go with it. Okay. So let's rock and roll. Let's put it here. Oh, I haven't copied. Are you joking, kidding me? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Right. So from bouquet this thing import. Now I can use this. And then later I will have to import this, so I just gotta put it here. Yeah, sometimes I found it confusing because like in a Python script, I know that all the import goes all the way to the top, except from very rare cases. But for Jupyter Notebook, it's just like because I install Boken here, so it's sometimes like a bit weird because all these sections look like it's its own script. So yeah, sometimes I found it like I don't know where to put it from because sometimes I put it at the top of this, like for example this plot. I just like because I don't know what I'm gonna import until I plot it, so I put it at the top. So this is also acceptable in my opinion. Um, so maybe we can do it like this. I don't know. Like I always found it confusing. Like where should I put the from? Because yeah, because now all the from is like really like import is really scattered around the notebook, and it's kind of against pub like what people would do. But yeah, like Jupyter Notebook is just a different thing. So sometimes I always like conflict myself. Like where should I put it? Okay, why is this still not defined? Did I put it like column? Oh, columnar. Why? Okay, now I'm confused. Column data source. So where did you came from? Class. So this is a space, so they are not in the same. So maybe it's just model. Yeah. So okay, sorry, my mistake. So it should be from models. Import column data source. Okay. Yeah. So that's a parent class. So I kind of mistaken it here. Okay. Now it works. Okay. So we can now change our source to the source to see what happens. Okay. And can make it the source. So I remove the x and the y, and then change the source. Yep. Oh, it's got 0, 0. Oh, let's have a look. So let's go back here. X value, y value. I want to try to use the column source, but y is giving me. Oh, I have to put x value and then y value in the. Oh, so okay. So x value should be the index, which is the generation. I don't know whether that would work that way though. Let's try. I know that I could put in two columns here because yeah, I know that I could. For example, I could put in, like I could put attack and defense, so it's plotting attack against defense. But yeah, let's have a look at that. Why not? So I want it to be sorry, what's that? Oh, x equals 2. Okay, x equals 2 at the attack, and then y equals to defense, right? SE, sorry. Yeah, so that should work. So I don't need this now, actually. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, now this is attack against defense. So actually we can change this label as well. So X is attack, and then Y is defense. Yes, and so this is average attack vs defense in different Pokemon generations. Right. So this is not temperature. The legend hasn't changed. No, this is I don't need the legend, so you go away. Right. Yeah. So this is like how it looks like. So you can see that like yeah, in some generations there's actually like more like lean towards like heavier defenses, but some of this is just like super duper hyper. I don't know which generation is that. So maybe I can color code it by generation. Can I do that? Um, let's figure it out. Oh, by the way, let's try the. Shall we try the group by? And yeah, we can come back to try the group by later. But I want to see if I can change the color of it. So styling. So yeah, this is okay. It's changing the color of it, of course, but it's a color mapping. And what is it doing? So linear factor. So palettes and color, fill color. Yeah, I just want to see if I can color it according to the different different attribute of the like different generations. So basically we will be using the palette here. So this do we need to use that, or we can use a CMap? Yeah, okay. Let's use this palette, and then we can. So we need to create a mapper here, and then afterwards, then yeah. So this is the source that they're using. So the color will be the mapper. Okay. So let's load in their palettes, because like I'm too lazy to create one myself. So let's load in that palette, and let's create this mapper thingy. So let's see how we do this, and let's put it here. This is color mapper. Yeah, I don't know why, like in programming, I tend to use C or L or R. Like usually when I write something, I would try to use British English, but yeah, I don't know. Field name would be, ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether like, cause I'm not plotting it here, so let's try generation. We may have to reset the index of this so it becomes something that could be used. We don't have the low and the high. Oop. Let's see. Oop. Okay, it doesn't do it correctly. Yeah, it's not defined. Oh, I haven't imported that. Is it? Yeah. So let's put it here. Yeah, this is like so many things to import. Okay, now it's wrong. I'm missing two require. Oh, I have to set the low and the high. I can't ignore it. Okay, fine. You can still have it. But it's not a so maybe it's not linear mapping. Maybe it's a factor. Yeah, it's categorical data. Okay, so maybe I should use factor instead. So let's change this to factor. And what's complaining? Factors. So maybe I have to. Okay, so let's have a look at how to use this. Handling categorical data. Okay. Oh, sorry. I bumped into my mic. And yeah, so this is gonna be. And okay, give me that thing. Okay. We need the category, and then the palettes and the factors would be okay. The factors would be generations actually. So um, so this one factors. Yeah. So yeah, let's see if that worked, because like it doesn't recognize generation. So what I gotta do is that I think I gotta reset index of that thing, element of string. Yeah. And or maybe not. Oh yeah, it's expecting. Oh, it's expecting a list. So what I can do is like I can do the df.index. This, yeah, group by df.index. So maybe that would do list of that. So just try this first. INDX. So yeah, it works. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't do that. So because this one will give me a now this will give me this index, but I think I have to do that like list, so it become a list, and then but I don't know, like I don't think this will work though. Yeah, because how does it know that it's related to that? Okay, it's gonna be a little bit difficult right here right now. So cause maybe we have to do something with the source. um Fruits equals to fruits, and counts equals to counts. So Yeah, it's a column name. So if you put it in here, so that would be recognized as a column. Fruit counts equal to counts. Yeah, because this is confusing. I think this is referring to this fruit, and this data source is also referring to this fruit. So I don't know whether you can do that. So okay, this is very confusing. Let's see if we just do a reset index. So now you can see that we have the generation here. So what I gotta do is like gotta make this outgroup by df, right? So now we have a generation there for the source here. So source group by df, so it's become a source, and then so let's go back to the documentation and go to this using this here. So it could be so it's called by the name of this data. So maybe we can do it the same thing here. So if I do factors equals to generation, then maybe it will work, maybe it won't. So let's see. This is super long. Can I break it? So yeah, so I can see the thing. No, it doesn't. And maybe we can do it by source. Nope. Okay, it just doesn't work that way. I'm kind of like stuck. Let's put a keyword here. Yeah. Or maybe I can put in. Yeah, I'm just trying because the documentation is not really helping me out. And group by df generation. Maybe this one would do. And no, it still doesn't change the color of it though. Or do I? Oh, I have to put it in here. Is it? Okay. So color. Oop. Full row. Color equals to this, and it still doesn't work. Why? Oh no, it needs to be mapper, right? So sorry. I put in the object itself. Okay, now it works. Okay, it's show me the generations, but I don't have the legend, so let's show the legend. So let's put in the legend and legend. Okay, I'm on the wrong page. That's why. And let's put in the legend here. Does it have it? It has it. So legend field equals to, this time it should work. Yeah. 2 generations. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. It's not the mapper. Silly me. And oops. Okay. Right, it should be here. Yeah, now we have different generations, but it's covering the thing. You're covering this yellow dot. You're being naughty. So can we move the legend somewhere else? So now I can see that like all these different generations and with different attack and defense. So yeah, but the good thing about Boken is that you can move it around. Like although it's like covering it before, it's very annoying. But we can change that. I think. Can we change that into legends to orientation to horizontal and the location to be top center? That's what we want. So and let's see. Let's see. Okay, so it's still called P. That's convenient. Yeah, because you have to call this name of the thing. Yeah, P like equals to figure, so you can change the name of that. I think P stands for plot. Yeah, now it's at the top, but it's still covering it. So maybe we have to set the range of this so it kind of so it doesn't cover this yellow dot. Yeah, we have to set the range of it manually if we want to. But top center can I be like off top center? What location I can set actually? Let me see if I can change this. Annotation, legend, locations. What parameters you're taking it in. Enum location. No, it's not doing the same thing. Okay, whatever. You can move it around, and let's move on to plot something else. So let's plot a bar chart, shall we? Let's put a bar chart of different generations with the HP. Let's do that. So yeah, so let's do another plot here. And we're gonna do is like go to the documentation, go back to that page of the bar plot. And do you have any ideas? Like any of you have any ideas what you want to plot? We can have a play together. Yeah, give me some idea. Otherwise, I would just like keep using my dumb idea. Um, that may not be very interesting. So, categorical data. Yeah. So, or maybe we can look at the different, uh, different. We have looked at HP of different Pokemon. Is it? What else we haven't looked at? Maybe the different. Um, so this is the stack up thing. We don't have that. We can stack up according to generations, and yeah, we could. But we have to do a pivot table. Is it? Yeah. This is yeah. This is very nice. Grouped it. Yeah. Nested categories. Oh, we can do that. Right. So, um, okay. So this is different. Um, different fruits in different years, and yeah, we can yeah, let's do a well, this is getting more and more complicated what they're doing here. Okay, pandas, you can also do it with pandas. So let's try this one. This one is more simple. But you can, yeah, you can also do this like stacking thing, so it's gonna be crazy for us. Because like we can do different generations, and then we can do a different type. So maybe let's try this one. So we can try group by. So okay, so group equals to Pokemon DF dot group by. Um, so I would just copy this, but I would group by also by the type 1. So this one should be type 1, and oops, group equals to this, and then yeah, we can do an index mapping as well. So we can use different palettes and sort it, and unique. Okay, so we can do this, and so we can have different colors like this one. Okay, so what I would do is like I would so this would be factor map. So the factor will be let's do the generation grouping like we did before, and then palette, and then factor sorted. So this will be generations dot unique, and here we go. So we have that, and then we gotta put the figure. So the figure size, I want 400 by 400 as well. Title is gonna be different, and so this one is like do all these grouping here for you, which is quite nice. I gotta do the same. Um, Toolbar location none. So this is taking away the toolbar. So this is taking away this bit because it's taking up too much space. Which it may be the case for me because like it will be super big, like for these Pokemon things. So yeah, we may do the same thing. And the tooltips. So oh, so this is the tooltip. So this is showing the actual thing. Oh, I like that as well. So the mean of the MGP mean and see. So this is this thing. I think. Oh, this thing is maybe. Yeah, this is weird. Like group by. So yeah, I don't know the data frame, so I kind of don't know like what this thing um look like. So like why this is like this, but well, I guess we'll just figure it out. And uh, yeah, so we gotta just copy this and then change what we have now. Maybe I'll keep the aspect ratio the same as well because it would be a very long graph. So yeah, so just gotta cut this. This gotta be what's gonna be Pokemon HP across generations. And X range would be the group and the toolbar location. Can I just say that I just want the I just want the HP of it. So maybe group by and this one I should just basically pick those three. So I'll have this and HP so to make it less confusing. So this should be oops, and HP as well. Yeah. So this yeah. So otherwise like we'll have all these attack and things like which we don't want. Um. Right. So and once we group by, we can do this HP across generations. So this grouped it location. I don't want the toolbar, and the tips would be and yeah. So basically, I don't actually know what this like tooltips do, what this add is doing here. So I think this add is the value here. So MPG is the label. So yeah, MPG mean like oh, I think they're doing the mean of okay. So maybe I oh okay. So um this will be HP mean, I guess. This will be HP. Oops. And this will be like HP. So mean means that this will be like taking the mean of it. So I'll just do this one. So I don't need the second one. Hey, hello, what's going on with you? Okay, let's just go a little bit cuckoo. My mouse is not cooperating. Okay, so I have the plot. So what else do we need? The bar. This is the vertical bar. Here, I think it's this one. And source equals group line color white. So there is a white bar here that we can't see basically. I think. So yeah, I just copy this because this one also like taking the color into it, so we need that to have the color. So top would be the MPG mean. So this so I think so yeah. So this is the mean of it, and so this would be the HP mean. And X would be so these two things. So I would have two things. I would have the generation and type 1, I think. Oh, I don't know how the space gonna work. Like, yeah, it may not go very well. So can I rename that first? Like, let's rename type 1 into type. So I would do is that uh, yeah, space is our enemy. So rename. So yeah, what was that? Pandas rename columns. Yes. Yeah, I thought rename, and then I think it's like a dictionary of the old name mapped to the new name. Do you have an example here? Yeah, yeah. So columns equals to okay. So rename columns equals to a dictionary that we want type 1. become type. Okay. So do I have to reassign that? I think I do have to reassign it. So yeah, it's difficult to tell. And return a key. No, it returns the data frame. Yeah, I have to reassign this to df. So yeah, so if I run this, yeah, so now it's got type, so it should be fine now. So I've changed that as well. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Change that into type and type. Yeah, I hope this one will work. And okay, we have to show at the end. So well, all this stuff, orientation. You know what? This is just making all these like thing tilted a little bit, and outline color. This is just like all these like um kind of how it looks like, just the look of it. And you know, I just copy it. I won't change too much of it. And yeah, why are you doing this here? I'm kind of a bit nervous about like what was that saying. Yeah, oh, okay, it's nothing there. Okay. So I gotta change this, the x-axis label into type of Pokemon group by generation. Yeah. Okay, there's some error here. Yeah, where is the type 1? I have to change it to, yeah, okay. Oops. Oh, there's still an error there. It's not defined. Oh, I haven't imported. I will use the old one. I'll use this one. I'll use the 6. Okay, so just copy the name just in case they kind of have subtle difference between the names. You know, you never know. And what's the palette? Where is the palette? Where is the palette? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use the same one here. df is not defined. Oops. Oopsie. Pokemon df. Where is this df thing come from? That's the problem with copy and paste. You don't know where it kind of introduce some weird things. Group by. The group by this thing. And okay, this one is Pokemon df. Generation. Unique. There is some error. That is. Oops. What's going on with you? Fill color. It. Okay, so this thing doesn't work. Right. I don't know what to do with this then, because this is just some like kind of or maybe there's a typo. This is the closest match, so maybe let me change that. Oh no, it's the same. So render fill color column being missing. Oh, maybe this one. I need to generation type. Okay, now it works. So yeah, this one needs to be, because I think this is kind of like a keyword that is generated by so instead of taking one column, it's just like the cross of two. So you have to put in both because you group by two of these. So you have to put in like this. Um, yeah, because it's a multi-index. So I think this is generated by the multi-index. So if you check the documentation for multi-index, it may show, well, this is so big. Okay. Yeah. Well, you can have a different look at it. I'm not going to do that. So yeah. So I think if you go to multi-index of this data thing, then it's kind of hinted that it's what's going to happen here. Yeah, name of the multi-index. Yeah, so this is what that generation type thing coming in, because like the name of the multi-index will be joined with an underscore. So basically, this just means that this will be the index of this group by, because um, we have two columns to group by, and then the new column generated will be an multiple index column, and it will be like generation underscore type. Okay, and yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so let's move on. And do we have time to play with them? We may not have time to do volume, so if that's the case, I will leave that with you, because like it will take some time to install as well. So Yeah, I may come back to volume when I do some like kind of geospatial thing, because now I've nothing to show really, so yeah, it's not that interesting. So we have kind of 10 minutes. Maybe we can stretch a little bit, 15 minutes. So let's do some interactivity of bouquet. So sorry I spent too much time on building this, because this is more complicated stuff. So let's do the interactivity here. So which I've seen. Where is it? Yeah, making interaction. So here it shows that what you can do. So like I said, you can add all these widgets. They are like the your user UI that they could do. This is all interactive stuff. You can add it in, but basically, if you just add them, it is doing nothing, right? So what you need to do is that you have to link this to your plot. So for example, this one is just like it link the range of this plot to this two in a different way, because this is like the x and the y of the first two plot are linked, but the last one only link the x, x range. So you can see that the y doesn't change if I move up and down. So this is done by just setting the range equals to the other one, other figure, and you can do that. So I'm not going to do that because it's more straightforward. This one, basically just make that when you select the data, it's gonna select on both sides. So you can have an idea of which one map to which. Sometimes I don't know whether I can reset that. So maybe you can reset that. Oh, nope, wrong button. So yeah, like if you click on one, they will show the same one on the other one. So you just link up the source. This is how you do that. So what I want to show is this link property thing. So basically, you add a widget here. That is a slider, and then this one, the value of the slider is actually linked to the radius of this graph. So remember the graphs thing come back here. So so R is the plot that we created. So it's basically saying that like please link with this the elements in R, the radius of these elements. So the radius would change according to the slider. So let's do something. Can we do something similar with this? What did we have? Well, we have this one. We can do something similar here. Change the change this. It's a bit silly, but like it's worth doing. So let's do a try. So first of all, we create a slider, and then we link the slider together. So this is quite straightforward here. But what we can do is like the slider. It starts with 0.1. And this is like basically the minimum you can go, and and every step we go like a little bit bigger, and yeah, the max would be 2. So the biggest you can go is 2. So let's keep that. We don't mess around with that. So value, what's the value here? So value, I think the value is the value of the slide bar. So in the slide bar, so this value, like this 0.40 now here, this will be the value of the slide bar. So we are linking the value to this r's element, the radius. So this will be linked up. So we gotta I just need to change this r to p, I think. P. So I'm gonna change the radius of it. So instead of 10, so it will become, so it will become quite small, is it? Oh, it's not a radius, so that's the size. So let's change the size of it. So it start from, so 10 is already too small, so I'll put 10 here. So and end with, let's say, 30. So the step would be 1, let's say, and value, I don't know what value. I think value may be the default value, so let's put it like 15. Okay, so let's try. Let's try. Sliders. Oh, I haven't imported, is it? My bad. My bad. So let's import that. So this also from models. So I can just put the slider here. Oh, it's fine. I will have a look here. Yeah, we don't have model here, so just put it here. Okay. Figure has no attribute. Did I call in the wrong thing? Oh, P who's the figure. Ah, okay. So yeah. So okay. So I have to make this a different thing. So this one will be the dots maybe equals to p dot circle. So this one should be the dots instead of p. So my bad. So because so it's like the figure is like Matplotlib that I explained. The figure would be different. So it's like a big canvas. So that's the figure, and the plot inside is actually a different thing. So when I do this p dot circle, actually create like something else. I just call it dots, but you can name it something else. So it's like the axis. So this, like I said, like actually it's so yeah, so it's like an axis. So this dots is like an axis, and also you call the graph inside it. So it's kind of more detailed in this sense. So let's run it. So yeah, now where is the slide bar? Where is the slide bar? So where is it? And oh, I have to show this. So I haven't show them. So I can show them in columns. So I should do it like this. And it's a p. It's just named plot p. Column is not defined. Did I not import that as well? Yes, I didn't. So yeah, this is like if you have more than one element, then this is like the subplots that you have, right? So I should also put it in here. Yeah, it's getting more and more complicated, but yeah, so yeah, that's the default value is 15. So all the dots are 15. So let's see if we can change that. Yeah, we can make them bigger, obviously, and make them smaller. So this work. So linking this. Another thing you can do is to link the what's that called, the legend. So and so you can have interactive legends. I just gotta quickly show you. I'm running out of time, and so it's just adding this like legend.click property equals to high. So this one, basically what this does is that it will hide it if you click on it, and or you can change it to mute, so like it would just become very transparent if you click on it. So yeah, I don't think it's worth showing because this is very simple. So yeah, of course, like Bouquet, I have no time to show you, but like of course Bouquet can do multiple plot as well. So what you have to do is to do the layout thing, like with the bars that you kind of make different like things in a column or in a row, things like that. I think yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that's worth noticing. And configuring plot tools, yeah. So right. Yeah, okay, you can also put the plot tool in somewhere. You can hide it. Geodata, I'm not going to cover geodata today. I'm running out of time. I'm not showing folio, so sorry about that. I said that I've got to do that, but end up running out of time. And also you can do network graph. It works with network X. In my opinion, it's still very lagging because it doesn't have label, doesn't have anything. Yeah, but you know, that's one way to do things. And basically that's it. Like creating layout. So this one is multi-plot that I was talking about. So you need to use the column. So you can like have plots that go with, you know, in a column. So 1, 2, 3, like that vertically. You can do a row. So it become a row. So also you can create a grid. So a grid will be, you know, like a square. Yeah. So that's it. And I hope you like using Bouquet. I like it quite a lot, and I found it like quite nice that it's interactive because let's say if you like share this like Jupyter notebook to your colleague, they can like kind of inspect it, move it around, zoom in, zoom out. They can also do some interactivity here, so you can even like it's something that people want to do in Python that is like because in R that you know you can do this you know the what's that app again like suddenly like forgot the name of it. If you remember, was that like a Shiny app? Yeah, the Shiny app that you know basically you create some analysis with some interactivity here. So this one you can do it with Bouquet. You can do it with Jupyter Notebook and Bouquet. So you can you know you can include a code here. People can you know, change the code if they want, but if they don't want to, if it's like you know someone that is not you know someone that is not technical, they don't do coding, they can use this slide bar, or you can use Vala with Jupyter Notebook to like remove all this code, so just keep the output. So you can generate a report for a non-technical, you know, non-coder colleague that they could do some, you know, so you build an app for them that they could, you know, use, and you can or even you know better because this could be an HTML. So if they don't have Jupyter Notebook, you just output all this stuff, you know, that this interactive widget in a HTML file, so they can open it in their browser. So I think that's really cool. So that's okay for you. So sorry about that. I don't have time for So we already seen it. So we don't have time for Folium. So sorry about that. But like I said, because I plan to do some like geo data, but I can't find like I can't import my own geo data to show it. And so I think yeah, I don't have much to show for Folium. I would just like what I would do is like go through this tutorial thing. That if you're interested, you can have a look. They do quite a lot of nice stuff. You know, they could give you a map. Can I have a look at? Yeah, they. Oh, it's loading very slowly now. So yeah, they could give you a map. So this is almost like a Google map. You know, that it got different style as well. This may be more useful for people who are doing, you know, city planning or things like that. I don't know, or civil engineers. Um, and also it could show terrain if you're a scientist doing this kind of research. And also like you can put in a lot of different things on top. Like you can put in some GeoJSON data overlay on top, or you can create like something like this. So I didn't prepare like a set of data that I could really like showcase all of this like better than this tutorial. So yeah, you can have a look at it yourself. But I promise that maybe sometime in the future, that if I have some like geospatial kind of things I want to show, that I would use Folio and like I'll show you what it like how to use it. And yeah, so that's it for today. And for next week, I would well, I have to stop doing the data viz, even though like I like data viz. I think there's too much. Next week we'll start doing some like basic machine learning. So we'll start with linear regression. So spoiler alert, it will be more math, less coding. So because now we're going into an area that um, it's more like machine learning. A lot of math is involved. Like I want to explain from like in a theory level like how linear regression work. So linear regression is not magic. It's just a bunch of math that help you to get some reasoning, some logic out of your data, some discovery. Um, so yeah, I will try to show the math. I will try to show the math in a way that is people who hate math can still understand. I don't know how well it would go because like I'm not a teacher. Like I'm not a full-time teacher. I'm just doing this because I like coding. I like Python data. I'll try to explain as much as I could in my own style. Maybe a little bit of coding just to like it's just you have an idea of like what's going on. But don't worry if you really hate math, but you still want to learn machine learning. I would try to help you. That even though if you don't understand any math, you could still get an idea of what's going on. So yeah, so we'll do machine learning. Yay, exciting stuff, really exciting stuff. So we'll just start from very, very basic and hopefully like my other tutorial series, Python Zero to Hero, we start from nothing, installing Python, and now we're talking about like kind of a more in-depth, topic of Python, and we have talked about lots of things that I'm not even like considering it as a beginners to like material anymore. We may step into async very very soon. So yeah, so it's the same for data science. We start from linear regression, and maybe in a few months we will start talking about like NLP and all this crazy stuff, and computer vision. I don't know that much. I'm not a PhD or something, but um, I would try to show you at least where to start if you want to do some research or study, where to start learning it, and yeah, and yeah, and I realized that my other computer is frozen again as well. So I don't know whether like you have typed anything in the chat because I didn't see anything because like I said my computer is frozen. It's tend to frozen a lot when I'm streaming. So I'm trying to now like looking at my phone to see if you have. So sorry if I missed your message. If you type in the chat, I would love to reply to people in the chat. But like I said, my other computer is frozen, and last time I checked, it's still working, and I don't know when it got frozen. I think maybe 15 minutes ago. So yeah, I don't see any chat in my phone right now because I can also see chat in my phone. Um, but yeah, I don't see anything right now. So if I missed your message, I'm so sorry about that. If you want to say goodbye to me, you can do it now. And otherwise, I will see you next week. for Legend of Data, and I will see you the day after tomorrow for Meet Me Pie. And hopefully the computer won't frozen anymore. I just don't know why. Maybe I need to do some cleanup with my computer because yeah, it's just like exhausted too much. It's getting overheated as well. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, like see you soon. And thank you. Yeah, thank you, Corner. Yeah, I see your message now. Thank you, Corner. I'll see you next week. Bye.